Hello everyone, welcome to our sports news channel. Here you are always well informed. I ask you to subscribe, leave your like and thank you. DeMarcus Ware needs more than 6 minutes. That time isn't long enough. Ware set of the 6-minute limit for his induction speech as part of the Pro Football Hall of Fame's class of 2023 on August 5th. I start to think about all the things I went through to get me to this point. He doesn't need to finish the thought. How is he supposed to sum up his path from Troy University, as an almost afterthought recruit, to the Dallas Cowboys as a first-round pick and a 12-year career with the Cowboys and Denver Broncos, filled with 138.5 sacks, 4 All-Pro selections, 9 Pro Bowl appearances and a Super Bowl win in 360 seconds? He could spend those 6 minutes on a 6-day span in 2009, when he secured his legend as one of the all-time greats, going from motionless on the field after suffering a neck injury versus the Chargers to making a game-winning strip sack of New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees to help push the Cowboys toward the playoffs. "I was having an out-of-body experience," Ware said. "I was floating when I was on that ground, when I got hurt against San Diego. It was like, I'm here, but I'm not totally here." There were 11 minutes, 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter against the Chargers at the brand-new Cowboys Stadium on December 13, 2009. The score was tied at 10. It was 2nd and 7 and Chargers quarterback Philip Rivers surveyed the Dallas defense from the Cowboys' 48. He never looked to his left. He knew number 94 was there. He knew Ware would be coming after him. As Ware gained the edge on left tackle Marcus McNeil, about 2 yards from Rivers, the quarterback stepped up in the pocket. Ware reached for him but came up short and his momentum carried him into the left thigh of Chargers right tackle Brandon Dombrowski. Ware's head was tucked as he collided with Dombrowski, and he immediately hit the ground. His arms splayed, his legs too. He lost feeling in his extremities. "Imagine somebody punches you and all of your wind goes out of your nose," Ware said. "It stung a little bit. I'm lying there on the ground, looking around. I see the lights in the stadium. Marcus Spears, a defensive lineman taken 9 picks after Ware in the first round of the 2005 NFL Draft and one of his closest friends, went to Ware. We look at D. Ware as Superman," Spears said. "The dude didn't get hurt. Didn't really miss anything." Ware missed 3 games in 9 seasons with Dallas. "When he's first down, he's not moving, and I'm like, D, move something, bro." I think it was just initial shock. Jim Maurer, who has been the Cowboys' head athletic trainer since 1997, went onto the field with the rest of the medical staff, assuming the worst. "From the beginning, we had a conscious player that was talking to us, which is a great sign, but you're preparing for other things," Maurer said. "So you take the precautions because when he says there's neck pain, you don't ignore that. You have to follow through. That's why we took his face mask off and put him on the backboard until you can rule things out." The stadium was silent. A shot on TV of Jerry Jones showed the owner and general manager with his hands over his face. The players' level of concern was obvious. Minutes passed slowly as the Cowboys' medical staff and EMTs got Ware ready to be transported off the field. Then came the first positive sign. He raised his left thumb as he was taken to the cart. Until the EMTs could lock the gurney in place, he spoke with Spears and defensive lineman Jay Ratliff, another member of the 2005 draft class. Associate athletic trainer Britt Brown took out Ware's mouthpiece. "I don't remember that," Ware said. "That's funny." As the cart made its way to one of the tunnels, Ware waved both of his hands. He moved his feet back and forth. With his hand, he made a W sign, signaling his last name. Before Ware was placed in the ambulance, his feeling came back. "But they had me strapped down so tight that I was feeling everything and it was, like, cutting my circulation off," Ware said. "It took me that long to say to myself, 'You're not moving,' because I believed I was moving. Now all I was thinking was, 'Get this FNG stuff off me.'" 2 plays after Ware was injured, the Chargers scored a touchdown. San Diego won the game 20-17, and the Cowboys' record dropped to 8-5 with back-to-back December losses. By the time Maurer made it to the hospital after the game, all of Ware's testing was negative, and he was diagnosed with a stinger. He was in a neck collar but was allowed to return home that night. On Monday morning, Ware drove himself to the team's Valley Ranch practice facility. "I walked in the locker room and everybody looked at me like they just saw a ghost," Ware said. The Cowboys had a game in 6 days, a short week with a Saturday kickoff against the 13-0 New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. He was telling teammates he could play. The medical staff wasn't so sure. Neither was head coach Wade Phillips. "Anytime something like that happens, you hope they can get over it, but not in a week," Phillips said. "It's still player safety first. I mean, I'm not going to play a guy if they can get hurt. I know you need to win and all that stuff, but we've always put player safety first," said Spears. "I remember it clearly. I said, 'Bro, you're not playing. Bro, it was like 24 hours ago, and we didn't know if you could move your legs.'" He still had some neck pain, but he passed all the strength tests. "I mean, he's nothing but one big muscle." He was optimistic. "I could tell he was a little shaken, like, 'Oh, man, that could have been worse.' And I think that's why in my mind I was so vigilant that he was not playing, because you just don't know."